before anybody comes, and while everything is nice and neat, let's take a look at these fantastic preparations. This is the last time we'll see everything so nice and neat. There's a history of the Kerbers, all on a desktop.
You're doing too much. Way to show ambition there, son. I'd rather not risk it, you know what I mean? We're not going to set up the things for you?
No, we're going to put them on the hot box now.
This is our wedding picture.
Oh, I thought that was a picture of your birth. In case you don't recognize them, this is Bob and Mary Jane on their wedding day. A history preserved for posterity.
Thanks a lot.
This looked like a record of good times with good friends. And just a few hundred more. The form is good, but I don't know about the result of the shot. Seems like only yesterday. I always knew Mary Jane was athletic. Before we enter the main hall for the festivities, a little hospitality And the happy guests begin to arrive. The happy guests begin to arrive. Looking forward to sharing in this celebration. Don't hog the scene. Don't hog the scene, please.
Where's your champagne, Fred?
No time for that yet. And everybody is signing in.
Fred, you want a glass of champagne?
And the little hostess with the mostess welcomes the guests as they arrive. Now, just about everybody is here. I guess there's nobody minding the store. Hard to recognize a lot of these people all dressed up. And out in the palm court, a little food to go along with the champagne.
They met him on a cruise many years ago. They were the ones that talked to him.
Really?
I always do the 24th.
Timing is everything.
My birthday's on the 24th.
Timing is everything.
Married. I don't care if it's the 25th. I'm going to work on the 24th. It is. I do it every morning.
Save some room for dinner.
No, but I mean, I didn't realize. Okay. They had all the- How could you have them over?
They were,
Surprise?
yeah,
Well, I invited them over.
Okay.
Settings made in paradise. Okay, just in case you missed the first bar, here's another one. Bye now.
I was going to ask you.
Hey, want to turn around so we can see your pretty dresses? I want to see your dresses. Oh, God. Are they nice? Real fancy. Okay, take care of your job. And still they come. just noticed that's real ice. I didn't know there were so many pretty people in Leisure Village.
There's a rabbit out here I want to show you.
Just one beautiful spot after another.
My bread, but that's trash now anyway, so let's take it. Oh, look at it. They're here. No, he's having a great time chewing on the greenery. They almost killed us.
Somebody will always crash the party.
Better than rats. We have rats.
Oh, here's a musician.
He's having his own hors d'oeuvres.
Nancy said, I was in there the other day.
It seems to be priced right now.
This is your trip. I've been priced every video here. 5 months and then that well. Anyway,
before dinner. And the queue continues. Never seems to get any shorter. Any minute now, the horde is going to come crashing through those doors. And here they come.
Patty, I didn't know you were there.
I just want to say how happy we are to have had an up. I just want to say how happy we have been to have shared this fantastic celebration with you. This will probably be the only time that you'll see me. We proved one thing tonight. You can serve a hot meal in a Bravado Hall. This has been an absolutely fantastic party, and it's going to be a long time before Leisure Village sees anything like this again. Have a great one.
I wrote a speech. I don't know why, because I have to do things that way. I promise it'll be short. We're here to support my parents and obviously to let them know how much we love them. As you all know, my mom and dad have been married for 50 years. And that's great, isn't it? I can't believe it because I just can't imagine that they've been married for 50 years when they're still only 45 years old, right? And they have the energy of 20-year-olds. They're just so incredible. They just never stop. Somewhere along the line, I think they reversed the aging process, as I can see most of you have too, which is really an inspiration for me. My mom once told me that there are 3 very important aspects of a good marriage. I guess this is from her perspective. She'll probably say, I never said that. But she said you need good communication, good sex, and apologizing when you're not, even when you're not at fault. And I know it seems really simple on the surface, right? It's so easily done. But we all know really how much effort goes into sustaining a loving and lasting relationship. And I think my mom and dad have done that and even more. We all make mistakes. I think there are only really 3 big, obvious mistakes that my parents made. Long time ago. About 49 years ago in rapid succession. And Pat and Rick and I thank them for that very much. My mom and dad have given me personally the gift of friendship. And as I look at it, all of you, I mean, this is what it all means to them, is to have their friends here with them. And they've surrounded me with people like you guys throughout my whole life. And it's meant a lot to me, and I think the same goes with my brothers. And they value their friendship with their friends and the way they treat you. And it just, I feel like that's the big thing they've given me. I've gone way off from my speech here. I have to get that good. I have experienced firsthand how much each of you has meant to them. Our family extends beyond kinship. It reaches beyond the boundaries of blood relations, to include all of their friends and our friends too, my brothers and me. We have friends too. Having you here to celebrate this wonderful occasion means so much to my parents and to my brothers and me, and we thank you for joining us. I just have one last personal thing to say to my parents. I'm so proud of you, Mom and Dad, and I'm proud to be a part of your family. I love you each, and I love who you are together. Thanks for being the great inspiration that you've both been to me. Thank you. Brother Rick, I want to say just a couple things too.
Hi, I'm Pat. I know most of you, and I don't have a speech prepared. I'm just going to say a few short words. In a year and 2 days from now, I'll be 50 myself. And I should say I'll be celebrating my 50th birthday, and it's been a great 49 years so far. And I just want to thank my parents very much for a wonderful life, a great upbringing, and great support in my adult life, doing dangerous jobs and so forth that I've been involved in, and they've supported me very much over the years. And I thank them for that, and just want them to know that I love them very much. Thank you.
I'm Rick, and I'm the youngest of the 3 kids. Judy said that she's used to talking to kids. I am used to talking to adults, but usually they're behind bars. I also told Judy I didn't have a speech prepared, but I lied. None of us knew what each other were going to say. First, I want to thank my parents for having a 3rd child. It really means a lot to me. I got to thinking about that later on, and I tried to figure out why 3, and I realized it took the 3rd one before they got one perfect, so. Sorry, Judy, sorry, Pat. I didn't know what Pat or Judy were going to say here tonight, but as it turns out, they said about everything that I wanted to say, so I guess I'll just wing it. But 50 years of marriage, you know, what do you get 2 people that have been married for 50 years and can buy anything they want? That's a big problem for all the kids here. I'm sure that most of you know that our dad's a hardcore Democrat. A long time ago, both Mom and Dad actually worked at a campaign headquarters in Torrance to elect President Kennedy. So Cheryl's my wife, Cheryl and I thought, maybe we could get a famous Democrat, a famous political figure to come here tonight to honor them. But Monica Lewinsky was busy. So we got them a table and some chairs instead. I know that Mom and Dad were disappointed in Pat and me when we didn't go to a 4-year college, and disappointed in Judy when she did go and then went off to live in a commune. But I think that we all came out okay in the end. All of us kids are successful in our work and in our personal lives, and this says a lot about our parents. They were not just married for 50 years, they raised 3 kids with values and morals much like their own. When I was about 8 years old, this just give you an example of what kind of parents they are. When I was about 8 years old, my mom stopped smoking just because they found out I was allergic to tobacco and it was killing me. Then when I was 10, they disposed of the cat for the same reason. I want to thank both of them for this. When I was about 12 years old, I remembered asking my parents what I should do for a living when I got older. And of course, my dad asked me why I didn't have a job yet. They had told me that whatever would make me happy. And I think that's what all three of us kids did. We've all got jobs that we enjoy. And we all cherish our families and our recreation time, each of us in a different way. Once again, this is something we got from our mom and dad. They always took us on great vacations to Balboa, the Motherlode Country, Indian ruins in Arizona, Mammoth Lakes, the Grand Canyon, Washington, D.C., New York, Maine, Canada, Mexico, it goes on. As kids growing up in the 50s and 60s, we had it about as good as it can get. And then going back to lifestyles and how we all turned out, I wanted to talk about Pat's lifestyle a little bit. Because you have to envy him a little bit. Pat's the oldest brother. He's always lived anywhere he wants. He's been in Japan, Sonoma, Alaska. He always goes anywhere he wants, anytime he wants. He does whatever he wants. He's been a flight engineer, and he's now a boom operator for Alaskan Air National Guard, and that's where they gas up the jets in midair. He owns his own bed and breakfast. Of course, he's not married, so there's no one to tell him what to do. Oh, I'm sorry. My wife's indicating for me to shut up and sit down. Anyway, I want to thank you, Mom and Dad, for raising us the way you did, for giving us the morals, the drive, the values, and the tools to be successful in our lives. To thank you for everything I am and for everything you have given me. I love you both, and happy anniversary. I was supposed to kind of do a toast up here, but as you can see, I forgot a drink. So what I'm going to do is I'm hoping I can invite anybody else up that would like to come up here and say something about them, some memories, experiences, or feelings about them. You know, a lot like you do at a funeral. If you can come up here and just come up and talk about them, they'd really appreciate it. And then maybe Ross, when you're up here, if you want to do a toast, if you can think, you know, just a simple thing, I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ricky. Before I start reminiscing about these past 50 years, I would like to congratulate Bob. Congratulate Bob on getting elected to the master board here in Leisure Village. And by a pretty good vote, too. One of Bob's campaign objectives was to get peace and harmony here in the village. And as part of that objective, he had made a campaign promise to me to further that objective, and that was to put a Viagra dispenser in the men's room here in the clubhouse. And Bob's not there yet. And we're disappointed. But I met Bob at UCLA the very first day we both went to UCLA. That was in September 1946. And 16,000 kids there, and we happened to have 3 classes together. And since then, we've been together for these past 50 years. It's been a real ride. I didn't meet Mary Jane until August 1948 at their wedding. And I think that, I asked Bob, I said, well, how many people here tonight were at your wedding? And he said, well, just you and Helen, everybody else is dead. But anyway, we had that. It was a good ride. The first time I met Mary Jane. And 50 years, it's put in perspective. Mary Jane didn't drink then. But in the ensuing years, we taught her how, and she's done a very good job. But let's see, we've done a lot of traveling. Cozumel, Cancun, Las Vegas, Arrowhead dozens of times, Big Bear. It's been one heck of a lot of fun. And let's just all keep it up, and congratulations, and it's been a lot of fun.
Thank you all for coming. I assume you can hear me. I think 50 years of marriage to me is a tribute to the thick skin of the American female. I would like to say that one of the things, we've had two very strong support groups over our long married life. One was started with the old potluck group in Torrance. Quite a few of them are here tonight, and these people, about 8 couples, got started. I think that Pat and Bob Leach invited us over a few months after we moved in on Terry Avenue in Torrance, and we've been together ever since on vacations. And it's been a very strong support group. Almost all of them are still married and alive. And the same thing goes for the Arrowhead group. We've been going to Lake Arrowhead every Labor Day for about over 45 years with the same 8 couples. And that's been a very, very strong support group, and we appreciate both groups and the strong support they gave us, and I hope we gave them a little bit. Thank you all for coming. We could have been on a great cruise, but I'd rather be here tonight with all of our friends. And thank you, Mary Jane, for a very exciting life, as all of you who know her can believe. Thank you.
Can you hear me? No. Can you hear me now? Yes. I first met Mary Jane in 1956, 42 years ago. I was new in California from Michigan. My husband brought me out here and I was really homesick. I didn't know anybody in this new area where we moved in Torrance. So I asked a neighbor one day, I said, I would like to join a women's group where I could meet some friends. So she said, well, I don't belong to one, but I have a friend who does. The next day, Mary Jane called me and said, my name is Mary Jane Kerber, and I would be happy to take you to the Torrance Junior Women's Club. So we went. Mary Jane introduced me to everybody, and she's been introducing me ever since. I love her. We're fast friends, and Bob and Mary Jane, it's wonderful to be here tonight. Thank you.
I was going to have to do this, but I guess I do. Thank you, everyone, for being here. They say you can choose your friends, but you can't choose your relatives. Well, I have to say our relatives are our friends, too. Thank you, all of you friends, for being here. And thank you, Bob, for being my husband.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to know that I'm responsible for them being here. Now, whether that's a compliment or not, I don't know. But we met the Kerbers about 22 years ago, 3 years ago. 22. Anyhow, and on a plane going for a Mediterranean cruise. Well, needless to say, it seems like we just picked up people along the way all through our tour through the Mediterranean. And it's been one hell of a 22 years with them. Just been great. Glad to have you here. Even then, her sister even moved in here.
Yes, it was.
Am I on stage? Okay. I was a neighbor of Bob's about 35 years ago, and then about 25 years ago I met him. I met his daughter earlier, but we really friends as neighbors because we didn't know each other. We was about 100 feet away and we got together. But I met him really about 20 years ago, and I've had, there's a business relationship and a personal relationship. And Bob's the kind of guy, whatever he says, whether you agree with it or not, it's the truth. You can count on him. And to me, that means everything. And my wife and I just think Bob and Mary Jane are the greatest people in the world. And I think on behalf of the people in Palos Verdes, they all feel that. So, pardon. I had to say something because I usually don't get them to speak, but Bob's worth it. So, thank you.
Hi, my name is Connie. I met Mary Jane in 1954. And Bob's cousin lived over our back fence. And we were over there having a drink with him, and Bob and Mary Jane came. And that very night, something clicked. And the very next day, Mary Jane drove up, and I was painting the kitchen in my house. I did those kind of things in those days. And Mary Jane fed my children. She did all kinds of things to help me paint that kitchen. And we just became friends. Our children were very, very good friends. Rick and my son Ken used to sell peanuts in the wagon to go to Y Camp. And they were so cute. And Judy and my daughter Carla. And I just feel very close to the children and very, very close to Mary Jane and Bob. They just couldn't be better people in this whole wide world. And I feel so fortunate to be here today and be a part of this. And to see all the friends. She introduced me to Pat and Dorothy Lynch, and Pat's done several houses for me. And you know, all these kind of things are what life is all about for me. And the good friendships and the love and the bonding. And it's just, you know, I just can't tell you how wonderful and full I feel tonight. Thank you, guys.
I don't move as fast as I used to. In fact, I'm a little handicapped tonight, and I sympathize with Mary Jane because I think she's going to go through the same thing. I wanted to stand up here and represent the hardcore group from Torrance that Bob mentioned, the Potluck Group. We were a hearty group of about, he said 8 couple. I think maybe that's pretty accurate. There's 4 couple here at the table tonight with us. They lived right across the street from us on Terry. We moved in together in these $9,000 houses. And our children grew up together. In fact, Mary Jane and Bob fed our younger boy, Blackleaf 40 out of their garage on a regular basis. I think he had his stomach pumped so many times that we don't know what happened to him. He only grew to 6'4" or something like that. But anyhow, when we had this group of potluckers, and we said to Bob and Mary Jane, now I don't know whether you'd like to join us or not. They're pretty critical. And so we brought them one night, and the initiation was quite severe, but they passed the grade, and they've been with us ever since, and that was in 1951. And it's been a wonderful relationship with them. We lived in Oceanside here for 4 years, and we've been very close with their Christmas parties, and they throw one hell of a party. And we just look forward to many, many more years together with Bob and Mary Jane.
Our drummer hasn't had a cup of coffee yet, sorry. Yeah. trying to do drum rolls, and then he's not queued up for, oh, there he is, okay. Okay, he's all set now. Wonderful waltzing, and now we're going to do some swing music. So we're going to pull all the stops out and do a great song to start out the dancing set called In the Mood. So we want to to see everybody up on the dance floor. We know some of you have been a little shy about getting up there, but we want to see you up there.
Carrie very well. I'd just like to say that we've been friends of Mary Jane and Bob's, and I have to say Mary Jane's a saint. I think that Bob is terrific, but somewhat of a chauvinist. Wouldn't you agree, Betty?
Yes.
Know that.
Even if he is a Democrat.
We've had a lot of fun, and the only thing I can say is that if they lived closer, we'd see a lot more of them, but I wish them well. And Betty?
I've known Bob and Mary Jane for about 20 years. They're fabulous people. We always have great times together. And I wish them nothing but another 50 years. I think that's a little extreme.
I think you're
but
at least 25.
But it's such a pleasure being here. It's been real fun. Thank you.
Thank you. Get down here, Ray.
I can't believe that he's still a Democrat.
Yeah, me too. after Monica, it's not action yet.
Bob and Mary Jane, we want to thank you very much for inviting us to a lovely, lovely evening. It's a pleasure to have been here, and we thank you for, we appreciate being a part of this.
welcome here. Well, anyway, I'm going to say it real quick. Enjoy sharing this wonderful evening with you. Thank you so much.
Hi, Mary Jane and Bob. You know, Carlos and I love you both so much, and we love our video when we took that trailer trip and I almost got killed.
Every Labor Day weekend, and we had great times together.
No, I haven't really known Bob for 85 years, but I've known him for 45 years. It seems like 85. The same old guy, still full of it up to his ears. Are you getting this, Fred? Thank you. Good night.
Oh, hello there, Bob and Mary Jane. All I can say is remember the Blue Room.
Rudy and I have known Bob and Mary Jane for about 45 years, and they've been sort of a cornerstone of our Arrowhead group. We're part of the Arrowhead group, and going to Arrowhead for every summer for, like I say, 45 years. It's been great. Congratulations, Bob and Mary Jane.
Gotta wait for action.
Okay. I met Mary Jane down in Ensenada on an angler's trip. I did not know Bob, and I met Mary Jane and Eileen Hancock, and that's how I got sort of involved. Now, I'd like to tell some stories about especially Bob, because it seems like every dinner party I'm seated next to Bob, but unfortunately I cannot repeat any of his stories. They are too risque. But I've enjoyed their friendship. They are a wonderful couple, and I just love them.
Okay, now it's action. Now, what were you going to say?
No, you go ahead.
No.
Really close.
Oh, at your parties, we always really enjoyed ourselves. We had a good time, and this is what we sang. There was a little bird no bigger than a turd.
Mary Jane, your party is too elegant to have that go on. I just want to say from the minute we met, I think we had real chemistry, and we have had so much fun over the years. I've loved every minute of it. Happy anniversary to you and Bob.
It's a wonderful night. It's a wonderful party with wonderful guests. And I have to say you guys outdid yourself. But seeing how it only comes along once in every 50 years, it's a wonder. Have another 50 on Betty and I.
Love you.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary. We're enjoying ourselves more than you'll know, and proud to be here, and want to wish you many, many more. And if I had an orchestra here, I'd sing happy anniversary to you.
He knows how to work a camera.
From me too. It's just a lovely affair. I wish you many more years of happiness. You look wonderful. And we'll see you on our next trip.
Yeah.
Before too.
We're gonna get back. We're gonna.
So, ich spreche jetzt heute in Deutsch hier. I speaking in German, so that you understand what I say. We wish you, oder wir wünschen euch alles Gute. We wish you all the best for your future life. And Honey and me say hello to both of you.
On this wonderful 50th anniversary, I have to tell you a story about myself. Betty and I have been married for 57 years. And when I first married her, she said, "Why do you look like a Greek god?" And now she says to me, "You look like a goddamn Greek."
Hello, Kurgers. This is a wonderful, wonderful party, and we've enjoyed every second of it, and we wish you nice people another 50 years together. We all love you. And remember, I knew you a long, long time ago, and you still look just as good. Bye-bye.
Congratulations, Mary Jane and Bob. This has been a wonderful party. It's all smooth sailing from here on out. Good luck. See you soon.
Bob, you and Mary Jane started out your married life in a place called Harbor Hills in Lomita. Here tonight, you're living in Ocean Hills. From one set of hills to another. Congratulations. Good night.
Amanda. Hi, Bob and Mary Jane. It's really great to be here on your 50th wedding anniversary. You two people are really great. Mary Jane's the greatest dancer, tap dancer that we have, and I'm trying to pattern myself after her, and so is Ginny and Clarice, and we're all trying to keep up with you, Mary Jane, and I think if we work really hard, we can do it. And Bob deserves a big hug for being elected to the board.
For the red light. Okay. Mary Jane and Bob, I want to tell you that we're honored to be here to spend this evening with you. It's nice to see so many of your family and friends here to be able to share this with you. And just a few words of advice, Bob. I want to see an enlarged parking lot. I want to see extra classrooms. And I want to see a heliport here so we can go right down to San Diego Airport. And I'm counting on you. That's why we voted for you. So don't disappoint me.
Bob and Mary Jane. Mary Jane, I know why I never thought you could top the New Year's Eve party, but you just did. And now I don't have to go to any more New Year's Eve parties. So thank you very much. Have a wonderful, wonderful many years to go.
Did Sid get a chance to talk? Yes, he did. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's all right.
You're next.
Ron and I feel so privileged to be invited to your party. It's such a warm and wonderful feeling to see all of your family and how they adore you. And we just really feel privileged to have been invited. And Bob, we're looking forward to a great year on the board. I think it's going to be the best board we've ever had because you're included. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I think you're all ready for Oktoberfest. Let's go on over to Bavaria and Coco's German station. Yeah. That was really, really good. You obviously know your polkas. Well, I hope you know your swing dancing because we have time for 2 more songs, a swing dance tune, and something slow.
And so we'll say goodnight to Bob and Betty Jane and wish them many happy returns.
We want to thank everybody for coming tonight, and especially Pat, Judy, and Rick for their comments to the crowd. And thanks for all the grandchildren, and Cheryl and Rick Van Woy. So the whole family is here, so to speak. Thanks again, everybody. Mary Jane, that's it.
Mary Jane and Bob, I just want to say that it's such a pleasure to know you. When I first met you, I thought you were like Barbie doll and Ken. You were so cute together then, and you still are. And I hope you have many, 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 many more happy years as Fred and I have had. Love to you both. Bye-bye.